homicide investigation in Castle Hill.
So you buy baby formula, you take it home, you open it up, and it's filled with flowers. Somebody pulled a switcheroo on you. It's happening to a lot of people. Police are trying to get to the bottom of it. That story tonight. This is News Center Now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Lee Nelson. Glad you're with us this Tuesday evening. We start our broadcast in Aroostook County, where two men were found killed inside a pickup truck. State police say this happened overnight in Castle Hill, and the case is being investigated as a double homicide. Route 227 was closed just after midnight and was reopened just a few hours ago. Our Samantha Sugarman is in Castle Hill, and she's going to have updates in the next 90 minutes right here on News Center Maine, so stay tuned.
Portland is exploring new ways to reduce traffic congestion on Commercial Street, and residents are joining that conversation. It's the focus of a meeting that's happening less than an hour from now. That's when city and state transportation officials plan to unveil several ideas they say could help. Many are the result of a traffic study that's been underway for several months now and public input. Bruce Hyman, the city's transportation program manager, says there's no way to completely eliminate the congestion on Commercial Street, but they are looking to better manage it.
We're looking at making the travel time more reliable. We heard from a lot of fishermen, for instance, that it could take 20 minutes to get from one of their wharves to go get a part for their boat. Other days it might take 40, 45 minutes or an hour to make that same trip. So we're looking for more reliable travel times.
Two other goals, Hyman says, are to improve waterfront access along Commercial Street and improve multimodal accessibility. As part of that, they're looking to see what kind of bus transit service would work in the future, or if the center turn lane should be repurposed into a transit-only lane. After tonight's meeting, city leaders and consultants will develop a draft of recommendations, and they'll release that sometime this fall, and then final recommendations are expected by the end of the year.
And now to an update about a story we first told you about last year. $3 million in Volkswagen settlement funds up for grabs in the state of Maine. In 2015, the automaker was caught using technology to cheat on emission tests. You may remember this. As a result, a $2.7 billion trust was established, and Maine's share of that was $21 million. The purpose of the settlement money was to implement approved air pollution mitigation incentives. And now the Maine Department of Transportation is getting ready to distribute the second round of funding, totaling $3 million. The application process starts next month, and we have more information on that at our website and mobile app.
All right, I think we have some weather to talk about right now, right, Keith?
We do indeed. It's been a little weird today, hasn't it, Keith?
We always have weather, but specifically today we have weather that is
weather
somewhat
that's
interesting.
making you work, Keith.
Yeah, well, let's not get carried away. There's a stretch of days coming up here that Jess knows about where I'm actually going to have to work for like 7 days in a row.
We need a Jess face cam.
Yeah, we do actually. That would be great. All right, let's look at the satellite because most of the state is sunny right now, but where there are clouds, there's some thunderstorms. We had two severe storms in the last hour and a half. Now a couple of them rolling right into the northern side of Portland and into Falmouth and Freeport as well. Let's zoom in on that cell there. It's not severe, but it probably has maybe some little baby hail sitting in this right here about to come into Gorham. And again, that will pass through into Portland eventually, Yarmouth, seeing some rain as well, some downpours in that. A couple of thunderstorms out here have died down, so obviously the atmosphere is not as primed on the north side of this front, and so everything we've seen pop up out towards Pittsfield has died down quickly. A little baby shower out towards Augusta as well. Just kind of an active little pattern down over the southern fourth or so of the state through the next couple of hours. Should get that offshore though by 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. And actually tomorrow's forecast has improved since we talked about it last night. We'll see more sunshine basically from start to finish tomorrow, temperatures in the mid and upper 70s. Guys, we trade an improved forecast for tomorrow, unfortunately, for a, what word am I looking for? Unimproved.
Deproved.
Deproved, I think that's a word.
Diminished.
Forecast for diminished forecast for the weekend. So we'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
We knew that was going to happen at some point, right?
Yeah.
All right. Can we take that trade back?
Nope. No.
Okay.
All sales are fine.
All right, we'll talk to you again in a bit, Keith. Thanks a lot. Let's check some headlines for this Tuesday evening now. Beginning with a rally on Wall Street, a big one. It followed a move by the U.S. to delay tariffs on Chinese-made cell phones, laptop computers, and many other items. Plus, the U.S. is actually removing other Chinese imports from its target list altogether. The Office of the Trade Representative says it's still planning to go ahead with 10% tariffs on about $300 billion in Chinese imports. Those are set for September 1st, but the administration's delay comes amid growing concern about the economic fallout from the U.S.-China trade war.
A member of the Senate Judiciary Committee says the Justice Department should rip up the old plea agreement that protects some of Jeffrey Epstein's associates from being prosecuted for their alleged role in supplying him with teenage girls. The deal, struck back in 2008, allowed Epstein to avoid a lengthy prison sentence by pleading guilty to lesser state charges. Federal prosecutors said when they charged Epstein that the Florida deal doesn't apply to prosecutors in New York.
And now to a major breakthrough in the fight against Ebola in Africa. Doctors in the Congo say 2 patients with Ebola who were treated with brand new drugs have been declared cured. Doctors on the front lines of this battle quickly used the case to press the message that people with Ebola can recover if they seek care. Doctors say 2 new drugs are now being used to treat Ebola patients because tests have shown they're quite effective. Those drugs are REGN-EB3 and MAB-114. They were developed by using antibodies harvested from survivors of Ebola. Ebola has killed almost 2,000 people in the Congo in the last year. Police are looking into several cases of people buying baby formula, taking the formula out, filling up the container with flour, and then returning the product for cash.
And in a few of those cases, tampered formula has made it back on store shelves. You don't want to get tricked like this, so here's what you can look for. She's so vocal.
First-time mom Chelsea Bellinger lights up talking about her baby girl Blakely.
And it just warms your heart up.
Bellinger starting to feed Blakely baby formula because she wasn't producing enough.
We went ahead and switched to the Enfamil AR.
Her mother-in-law typically buying her a box or 2 of the expensive formula once a week from the Walmart in Goodyear. Bellinger usually pre-making the bottles herself, but one night her husband doing it for her.
I went to grab one out of the fridge and I noticed that all of them were separated. And my first thought was that my husband didn't shake the bottles before he had put them in there.
So she shook it up, heated it, and gave it to Blakely. A couple hours later, she goes to grab another, and that's when she realizes
it was very clumpy at the bottom, like none of it had poured out. And when I had opened the container, I noticed the color and the consistency was off.
Bellinger then tasting it, only to realize it was flour.
I was very scared.
The situation escalating, Blakely getting sick for several days.
You don't know if they're allergic, like if her throat would have closed up from a gluten reaction.
Thankfully, Blakely is now okay. But this concerned mom is not.
You can see that it's super glued.
This is the box Bellinger believes was tampered with.
This part right here is actually supposed to be sealed over top.
Last year, a similar story in Tucson when a woman was found guilty of buying baby formula, replacing the contents with a flour mixture, then returning it to the store.
So you can definitely tell that's flour.
Bellinger feeling obligated to tell her story.
I told my husband, like, what if we're those people that don't say anything about it, and then somebody else's, child actually does have an allergic reaction to it and they die from it? I would feel terrible.
A Walmart spokesperson telling 12 News customers are allowed to return formula, but employees are instructed to not put it back on the shelves. They're reviewing security footage at their Goodyear store, looking to see if that protocol was broken. In the meantime, Bellinger and her husband double-checking their formula, urging other parents to do the same.
Show them what the consistency looks like.
Wow, eye-opening.
Yeah.
Well, you can find much more on this story at our website and mobile app. A lot of you have already been clicking on that all day today. All right, in other health news, the Food and Drug Administration has issued a warning to consumers.
Yeah, the agency is urging people not to drink a solution that's promoted online as a remedy for autism, HIV, cancer. The products are known as Miracle Mineral Solution or Master. mineral solution. They also go by MMS and chlorine dioxide protocol. But whatever they're called, they're not approved by the FDA. And listen to this. The FDA says ingesting the solution when mixed is basically the same as drinking bleach. The FDA recently received reports of people vomiting violently, having severe diarrhea. Officials say poison control centers have handled more than 16,000 cases related to this product over the last 5 years. So stay away from it for sure.
Wow.
All right, it's only mid-August. Keith says we will be seeing some heat again.
Still, one popular coffee spot is ready to roll out its pumpkin spice lattes as early as next week.
A number of problems with that story. One of which
The
was
formula?
the amount of justification that the anchor did for it. She's like, she gave a formula because she couldn't produce enough milk, and she normally does the bottles herself, but her husband had to this time. Both of those things, I was like, what?
Yeah,
You know,
throwing the husband
like,
under the bus.
Yeah, you
Right.
can give a good formula just because you want her too. It was a very
Yeah.
explain away style of doing the story instead
Yeah.
of like, hey, she got this formula and somebody substituted it for something that's not formula.
What I'm always
Yeah.
surprised with stories like this is like the amount of effort people will go to scam.
Well, you know why?
You know?
Because formula is expensive. So like, I forget exactly what we paid. I think it was $150 a month for Luca
Wow.
formula. So you figure, I don't know, I'm making this up. It's $40 a can or something
Yeah.
like a big can. So if you were to take that
Yeah.
and then resell it and then put that, it's actually one of the. I'm not saying it's okay.
But who thinks that
I don't
way?
know,
Like
I don't
I
know.
would never
Right.
think to do that
Right.
ever.
I would also.
Well, right, to put, okay, so you're having trouble affording something.
Yeah.
There's a theft involved. But then to put, that's one crime, but then to put somebody else's child at risk is a
Right.
totally,
Right.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, you did it because you can't afford it. and then-
Yeah.
yeah. But
that's
then-
what my assumption was,
Yeah,
you know.
would think so. Yeah. And they have seals too. That'd be the other thing that I wonder
Yeah.
about. Is like they have
Right.
the
Yeah.
pullback seal.
Right,
So if that
so if
wasn't
that's
there,
open-
you would think
Sure.
you wouldn't use it.
I bought gummy vitamins one time and the seal was broken.
Yeah.
And I was just like, gosh, I can't believe this actually happens.
Yeah.
I can't eat
You
these.
return it.
Yeah. I actually didn't even return them. They
Yeah,
were
they're
like,
so cheap
yeah,
sometimes,
it was just, yeah. But anyway, it happens. It's kind of crazy.
So
A lot of people.
switching sides today because you're gonna be on 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Teresa says
don't know if I
no,
can read
too
from
early
that
for
side.
pumpkin spice latte. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. Although I don't drink it when it comes anyway. So
I
my
don't
wife
either. I appreciate when someone near me orders it and I can smell it because I like how it smells.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
always smells
It smells
better.
really good.
Yeah.
I actually just got a little small hazelnut, which I don't normally buy.
Yeah.
And I love the way that smells too.
Oh,
More than I
smells
actually like
so
the
good.
taste, I like the smell.
Right, right. When it's brewing in the morning, it's the best. Even when we fire up the coffee here, it smells so good.
It does smell. The coffee ground, ground coffee before it's made just smells so good.
It does. Welcome back, everyone. The calendar and warm temperatures may say summer, but the aroma of pumpkin will soon be in the air at Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin's will start selling its pumpkin-flavored items a week earlier than last year. Look for the new autumn menu to arrive at all Dunkin's locations August 21st. That's a week from tomorrow. Among the new items, cinnamon sugar pumpkin spice latte and apple cider munchkins. According to a study by Nielsen, annual sales of pumpkin-flavored products increased more than 15% last year.
And when they say every location, so that's like every other block in the United States, right?
Especially in New England.
I know, yeah. And can you believe the show Friends first hit the airwaves on NBC 25 years ago? And to celebrate the big anniversary, Fathom Events is going to show 12 episodes in movie theaters across the country. The special 3-night event is called Friends 25th, the one with the anniversary. That's a play on how they titled all their episodes. And it will include cast interviews, never before seen content as well. It's going to happen on September 23rd, September 28th, and October 2, each night featuring 4 episodes, and they'll kick off at 7 p.m. A full list of participating theaters will be released this Friday, the same day that tickets go on sale online and in the theater box offices. Most of these theaters are going to be AMC theaters, so you might have to travel down to Boston to take part.
I have a feeling that merch will do well too.
I bet it will. 25 years ago. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, we're getting closer and closer to the fall sports season coming up. We're going to look at a few places in the Bangor area trying to make equipment more affordable for families.
That can really go a long way. And Kate's forecast when we come back.
Ain't that the truth?
Keith, that's my favorite whiteboard. Oh, we're in the newsroom.
Speaking of Dunkin', did you see they down on St. John Street, they tore down Yang's?
No.
Chinese ones, and they're building a new Dunkin' Donuts there.
Oh,
Really?
no way.
I don't know what they're going to do with the old Dunkin' Donuts.
That one's... I don't go to that one because they never get your order right at that one.
Oh.
You know, I mean, it's varying degrees of not having your order right at those places, but that one is...
So we are tossing to Sean from the newsroom.
All right.
All right.
Where are we? Way over there?
Are we going far?
Don't make the pregnant lady go far.
Huh?
I know. Thanks, Sherbs.
Okay, got it?
Yeah, I might need you to help me wipe out.
Paul says no to their coffee, yes to their culottes and smoothies. Ooh, I didn't know they did smoothies.
No to their coffee, what?
Yes to their culottes and smoothies.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know they did smoothies. Teresa, going back to the baby formula story, she says because it is so expensive, they take it and they put it in another container, refill the baby formula container, return it for money, then they can purchase more with the scam money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, Mark. So Mark is bringing up the fact that we have a Dunkin' Donuts story, and then we actually have some Dunkin' Donuts on the counter. He says, just wondering why you're advertising Dunkin' Donuts on every newscast. That's a coincidence.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence. There's one down the street, and somebody went and bought some.
Yeah.
That's a total coincidence. We also have, you know, snacks from Snyder's Pretzels, and it just so happened that
Yeah.
we're not in the business of selling any products, except my eyeliner line, which is coming out next week.
And I think Wendy might be new to the feed. Wendy, this is a behind-the-scenes look in between during commercial breaks of the newscast.
Oh, okay.
We're tossing to the story. No, Sean.
Yep.
Okay.
Stand by.
All right, so the fall sports season is right around the corner. Often starts before classes actually start, so it's really, really close. And that means a lot of families have to go out and buy expensive new sporting equipment.
And on top of that, registering for sports can also be expensive, and all of that can really add up. That's why one mother of a former athlete is now trying to help. Sean Stackhouse has this story.
And I just had the idea that there's got to be a better way.
A better way to afford sports equipment. With 3 kids all needing new gear each season, she was searching for a cheaper way to get her kids on the field.
There's got to be a place that people can bring their stuff, it can get reused, and people can get stuff affordable.
Last spring, this sports mom taking action, opening up her own store, Replay Sports, where you can do just that.
Bringing the stuff when they no longer need it, getting the stuff that they need, and hopefully making it more affordable.
Replay has been open for just more than 1 year, featuring consigned equipment for nearly every major sport, which allows people like Melissa Saucier to get all of her kids on the field.
Going to the, name brand sporting goods stores, and who's got the money to constantly spend all that kind of money on something like that? Because it's costly when you got more than one child,
For families that struggle to afford equipment, it can also be difficult to afford the program itself. Something the Bangor Parks and Recreation Department doesn't want to block children from getting a sports experience.
If families can't afford what we set for prices, if it's out of their means, we have scholarships. Every family has a different situation, so we work with every family individually.
Which means more kids can get out on the field and fewer families have to worry about how they'll pay for it.
really for anybody, but our hope is that it may also provide for that child that can't play.
All right, so a better way to, hang on, I'm kind of lost here. Here we go. Albert's Shop in Old Town is open from 4 to 7. The consignment shop is somewhat similar to Play It Again Sports, which some of you may know about in Auburn, Biddeford, and in Portland. And fall registration is open now in Bangor. You can sign up, learn more at bangorparksandrec.com. And I'm sure it's the same in other communities as well. Just getting rolling.
Yeah, I was just talking with a former teammate of mine from college field hockey. We were saying it feels like preseason weather, where it's a little cool one day and then the next day it's humid.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're on this roller coaster ride. But you like the cooler days when it's preseason.
It is nice. You know, and I'm big on secondhand sports equipment in general. That and tools are two things I always buy used. Like, who cares if we get a miter saw somebody else's used?
Right.
What are you gonna, same thing with skis and a lot of stuff like that.
You know, athletic socks, I think I might buy.
Yeah,
new.
you might perhaps just get those.
For those.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I should be more specific, like exterior type stuff. All right, we got some showers and thunderstorms out there right now. It's been very confined to the southern, at this point, sixth or so of the state. But these showers and storms have continued to bubble up. This one is going to roll into Portland here shortly. Gorham seeing some heavy downpours, maybe some small hail. One just popped up in Corners. So the atmosphere is such that things are popping up, and there's one actually streaming right towards Bangor as well on the north side of things. But most of us are going to stay dry through the rest of tonight, and the dew points are going to be highest over the southern third of the state. To the north, you can very clearly see where that front is located: Bangor, Waterville, and then north of that, dew points in the 40s and 50s. This will crash down tonight, and we'll be in much more comfortable air mass by tomorrow morning, and definitely by tomorrow afternoon. Hour by hour forecast showing you those showers and thunderstorms, most of them non-severe through the rest of tonight, and then we start to clear out along the coastline 2-3 in the morning. Temperatures drop into the 40s in some spots, 50s in most, and 60 right along the coastline. And then tomorrow is a mostly sunny day to start. We end up partly cloudy in the afternoon, but temperatures only in the mid to upper 70s, I think, for most of us. Maybe a few 80s around, but most will stay in the 70s. And then Thursday looks good. So from Wednesday through Thursday afternoon are probably the best part of this week. Temperatures still in the 70s. And then we start dealing with some showers again on Friday and into the weekend. It's kind of a messy pattern. So this high pressure system gives us those 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. And then we just get on this southwest flow with these little troughs coming through. They're little baby troughs, but they're just enough to give us showers on Friday, again on Saturday afternoon, and again on Sunday. And so increase the chances of showers through the weekend. Again, on Saturday, it doesn't look like we'll see a ton of those around. But look what happens on Saturday afternoon with this little trough coming through. They pulse down Saturday night, and then they're back up for Sunday and perhaps into Monday afternoon as well. So we're going to see at least a chance of showers Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We haven't really done that in a while. Well, what about temperatures? Well, we'll start to bring those back up by early next week, and you can see that just in the colors here, in the oranges and the reds, ridging back into the East Coast on Monday and Tuesday. Now, we talked yesterday about, does that mean 85 or does that mean 90? And I think right now we're looking at mid 80s to upper 80s on Monday and Tuesday, and perhaps another shot at it Thursday. So you'll see that Monday and Tuesday temperatures back into the mid 80s. And this is a high bar, probably the worst weekend we've had in a while, in 6 or 7, because there's scattered showers around. It's not a terrible weekend. There are periods of sunshine in there Saturday morning, and again, probably Sunday morning, but both days have a chance of showers. We haven't seen that in a while.
Right. So. We will survive.
Yes, we shall persevere. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Or try, anyway. Right. Thanks, Steve, very much. Hey, a couple of artists from Minnesota are displaying their work in the national spotlight. But
you will have to take a plunge to check out their work. The artists are Dave and Shelley Speedling. 3 of their life-size statues, including this kneeling soldier, are currently 40 feet below the Gulf of Mexico. It's part of the Circle of Heroes Veterans Memorial 10 miles off the coast of Clearwater, Florida. It features 12 statues, all of which represent the 5 branches of the U.S. military. The underwater memorial is the first of its kind, and it just opened this week.
So everything's underwater now, but I guess it wasn't then.
Exactly. Gonna need the scuba gear to go check that out, and a GoPro maybe to snap some pictures.
Right.
All right, time for a quick little rewind to last week.
Yeah, remember these cute little ducklings crossing the road in Biddeford, right? Well, we have another kind of similar story, but this one out on the West Coast. A mother duck and her 4 ducklings are back together thanks to the efforts of a California sheriff's deputy. The babies fell into that storm drain. The officer went down into the drain and was able to safely rescue them all. Yay, all is well once again.
Some good news there.
All right, let's talk to Cindy, see what's coming up at 5:30. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, you guys, a very big day in Old Town, Maine. I tell you, the folks there have been through so much, so many highs and lows as the town's biggest employer shut down. Well, today, definitely a high. As the Old Town Mill reopens, business folks there are super hopeful about the future. We'll take you there. Plus, big news for consumers. The U.S. Trade Office decided to delay the tariffs on Chinese-made cell phones and other electronics for over 3 months because retailers were afraid it was going to hurt holiday shopping. The administration finally admitting those tariffs are going to cost us all. Wall Street very happy indeed. We've got the details on all of that ahead. Back to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys at 5:30.
Yep.
We're back with Braindrops when we come back.
We can refinagle ours, so we'll see. Alex, what am I doing with this?
Bringing it down with
Okay.
Oh, it's all good. All good, all good. Alrighty. Powering down. We have a quick little, actually I don't know how this is going to work with the open. We had a little photo of pickle ice cream.
Pickle ice cream?
Yeah, we can drop, if we are tight for time, we can drop the pickle ice cream. So yeah, pickled ice cream, pickle flavor ice cream at Libs today only. Okay. Photojournalist John Blenda and I were out doing another story on the Portland traffic study, which we'll have more on that tonight. But we were like, let's go get, we've been stopping for ice cream, by the way.
Did you try the ice cream?
Yeah. I tried the peanut butter pickled flavor.
Okay.
It was really interesting, but it tasted exactly like a bread and butter pickle. And then the peanut butter part tasted just like peanut butter.
I just don't want those things mixed. Yeah. I'm a pretty boring ice cream person.
Yeah.
I'm just like, give me chocolate.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, I will try. I've tried all kinds of Ben and Jerry things, but I end up going back to like just straightforward.
Right.
You know?
It's funny because like you hear often that pregnant women crave pickles. I mean, did Paula crave pickles when she was?
You know, she was a weirdo. I don't remember her craving anything.
Really?
She was just kind of like, I guess I got this baby, so.
Yeah.
That was it. But I kept waiting for it.
Yeah. The idea came from the owner's wife who was pregnant, who was craving pickles. And that's when they're like, let's make pickle flavored ice cream.
I've heard of a couple of different ones, and they all would make sense because there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Normally, but yeah, I kept waiting for her.
It's more like, yeah, what does the craving mean that you really need? Like you were onto something when you said the watermelon with dehydration.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, and what do pickles have in them that would be?
Maybe the salt.
Yeah, a little saltlet like a hamster.
Yeah. All right, so today we had to stop at Libs Ice Cream while we were out in the field reporting on other things, make a pit stop, because today only they have pickled flavored ice cream. And it is bread and butter pickle flavor, and you can also get the combo with peanut butter swirl. So I tried the peanut butter pickle combo, say that 6 times fast, and you know what? It really does taste just like it sounds. And so this is at Libs in Portland. Very fascinating.
Today only, get over there. You can expense that, because it was story related, just so you're aware of that. I talked yesterday about how I was going to discuss whether or not burning wood is a carbon neutral, environmentally friendly thing to do. So let's talk about what trees do in their natural state. Okay, so you got a forest. They're what's called a CO2 sink. So they take CO2 from the atmosphere via photosynthesis, and they store it in their roots, in their leaves, in the trunk of the tree. And so as long as the tree is alive, they take CO2 out of the atmosphere. So that's a positive for us. Now, when they die naturally and start decaying, they start to release that carbon back into the atmosphere at a slower rate, but it all ends up back in the atmosphere. In between, animals might eat some of the leaves, right? And then when they breathe, they're putting out that CO2 that came originally from that tree. And if we eat the animal that ate the tree, we're doing the same thing. It's all coming from the tree.
Is this like the old lady who swallowed a fly?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So when you burn wood, you put it back into the atmosphere all at once. The problem we're finding with this concept is it might take 50 to 100 years to regrow those trees so they can grab that CO2 out of the atmosphere. So in theory, it would be carbon neutral to burn wood. The problem is, in practice, it's on a large time scale. You put it all out, and it takes 50 to 100 years. Not to mention, unless you're chopping it down from your backyard, it's transported, and that has a carbon footprint. So it's renewable. That's different than being carbon friendly.
Interesting. I just learned
And if you get in your backyard and you chop it, that's actually the best of the solutions.
What kind of animal is this?
I have no idea.
Okay.
A badger. Do people eat badgers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alabama, maybe. I don't know.
News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Coming up next.
It looks like a beaver.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good beaver.
Bye, guys.